Packers beating the Chicago Bears at Lambeau, and what a thrilling game that was, you guys. That's the type of game that made me want to be a football fan again. After the Rams broke my heart when I did the NFL Bachelorette and I ultimately settled on the Packers, that is the type of football game and the emotional tie to a football game that I missed, and boy, did it deliver yesterday.
Green Bay beats Chicago 28-21. They're now 9-3-1. The Bears are 9-4. Packers are back in first place in the NFC North. Caleb Williams throws an interception in the end zone on a 4th down to end the game. Jordan Love 17-25, 234, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Caleb was 19-35, 186, 2 touchdowns and an interception. So, Smalls, which team did you learn more about yesterday? And has Jordan Love shown you enough to believe that he can take this team to the Super Bowl?
Yes, Jordan Love has shown me enough for me to believe that he can take this team to the Super Bowl. I already believed that about Jordan Love heading into the season, but he has consistently shown me over these past 4 games that he's rounding into form like he normally does this time of year, and I believe in him and I believe in this team. I know that they've had some stumbles this year. They've had some bad losses. The Cleveland Browns, why are you losing to the Carolina Panthers? You're tying the Dallas Cowboys earlier in the year when they weren't one of the toughest teams in football. They weren't peaking at that time. And you were confounded by what the Green Bay Packers were because you knew that they had another level that they could reach, and I think we're seeing it. But I learned more about the Chicago Bears yesterday than I did the Green Bay Packers, because this is what I expected of the Packers. I expected them to be a team that was going to compete for a Super Bowl. At the beginning of the season, we thought that Ben Johnson was going to be transformative for Caleb Williams and therefore the Chicago Bears. I don't think we thought it was going to be this. And for the Bears to put up that type of a fight against the Packers yesterday, some of the throws you saw from Caleb, the escapability that you saw from Caleb, it ultimately resulted in a loss. But I learned more about the Bears and their viability as not necessarily a contender, but a team that is on their way long term.
Yeah, the Bears turned it on in the second half. They scored 18 of their 21 points after halftime. I was impressed that they had the poise to be able to bounce back after having a double-digit deficit, and the Green Bay Packers, in large part, being able to control the game. So if you're asking who we learned more about, I think everybody learned more about the Chicago Bears. The version of Jordan Love that we saw is what we've come to expect this time of year.
Right. Second
half of the season, Toyota-thon, all of the jokes, this dude turns it on. But what I didn't realize is that the Chicago Bears have a running game that they can consistently lean on, regardless of who the opponent is, and they have a quarterback that can pull a rabbit out of a hat. Now, it's going to lead to some plays that leave you scratching your head, but there are also some throws in there that only a handful of people on the planet Earth can make. That touchdown throw that he had to Alameda Zacchaeus, I don't know how he got that football past Keyshawn Nixon. I still don't know. I've seen it on replay, on a loop. It was an absolute incredible throw. He had some dimes in yesterday's game. Not to mention, this guy has an escapability where he can extend the down to give his receivers time to be able to uncover downfield. So I walked away from that game impressed by Caleb Williams' ability to be able to help this team punch back. Now, would you like to have a different result at the end of the game or on that 4th down? Sure. But I think as he gets in more of those situations, he will find ways to execute and put his team on the winning side of it. But yeah, I came away being more impressed with the Chicago Bears. And the reality of this situation between these two teams is the division will come down to who wins that game in Soldier Field in Week 16.
The amazing thing about Caleb's escapability, because I agree with you guys that obviously you learn more about them, like they went toe-to-toe with a team that people think could win a Super Bowl this year, is his escapability a lot of times leads to a throw to a receiver, not a throwaway. And there's a big difference because a lot of guys are trying to escape a sack to throw the ball away to make sure that they don't lose yardage or lose it down, whatever it may be. His escapability a lot of times leads to a completed throw, which is all, like he resets his feet, he finds the open receiver, his vision downfield is obviously tremendous, but you guys mentioned that last play, that interception to end the game, and Caleb post-game on that bad play, or a bigger concern, here's Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we need to start faster. I need to start faster. We need to start faster, and I think that'll do us well. As a team and as an offense, especially. That's something that they did better than us today, I would say, and then they made plays at the end of the day. A few more plays than us.
The interesting part about the starting faster, and yes, obviously he had 2 completions early on in this game. When they play the way they play, which is run, and slow down the game and ball control, it does keep the game close against what should be a better team in Green Bay. So yes, of course they should start faster, but I don't know if I'm a Bears fan if I'm complaining about the start, because it's a one possession game late on the road against a team that's supposed to be better than you. CC, I'm sure you played in games where a lot of times the coaches say to you, keep that other offense off the field, keep it close. Like when you know another team's really good, not when you're complaining about Tampa and New Orleans. That should not be a close game. Tampa should blow them out. But in this spot, them not being spectacular early on still has them close. Like, I don't know how much I'm complaining about that if I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah, I think what Caleb is saying is we can't dig ourselves a hole like that.
Especially not against that team.
And expect to be on the winning side of those games more often than not, especially when football starts to change this time of year and you start playing against better competition as you anticipate in the tournament. You don't want to get into a double-digit deficit in the first half. You don't want to go down 15-3. That's
right.
not. That's
and
less.
The first half was bad.
That's less than ideal.
Yeah.
So you've got to find ways to be able to start faster. That being said, you had an opportunity to tie the game, and Ben Johnson went back to the well. It was a play that they utilized on a 4th and 1 on the plus side of the 2-minute warning in the first half.
Yes,
they did the same exact play, except Caleb Williams got cut off by the defense, and then he was late on the throw, targeting the tight end. I believe it was Coastal Loveland in the end zone. That's a throw that was there to be made because Keyshawn Nixon is tracking all the way across the formation. It's just that the quarterback didn't get his hips turned quick enough. He didn't throw the ball quick enough. Obviously gave the defender time to close, and it ended up being a turnover. But, yeah, I walked away from that game encouraged by what I saw from the Chicago Bears, and it confirmed what I thought I knew after the Bears went into the Link on Black Friday and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a team that's going to be formidable. Now, it's absolutely mission critical that they find a way to win that game in Week 16, because the last thing you want to do is have your second-year quarterback's first experience in the postseason lead to him having to go on the road as opposed to being able to play in a home playoff game. So I think that's the part where Chicago needs to show more of a sense of urgency. But I anticipate these two teams being in the mix and having something to say about who comes out of the NFC.
Love to hear that. I'm with you on the faster starts. Not only do not want to be outscored 14-3, they were outgained 207 yards to 71 in the first half. And even though Caleb has been great in those fourth quarter comebacks this year, I think he has 5 on the season, you don't want to have to put your young quarterback in that position against a team like the Green Bay Packers. And as you get further down the line in the regular season and into the playoffs, why even chance it? Even though he's been good in those situations, why even try to put him in a position where he has to come from behind?
The other part of this game that was interesting was at the end, because we knew what?
Are you talking about our coach?
Yeah.
Our coaches?